What's good, everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of the Celebrity Junk. Brothers, I'm back in Europe, and I just want to say I appreciate you, brothers, for holding me down in my 9 months in Africa. So I want to give a salute to all the players out there supporting the channel. And I do this content specifically for the African American men. I have some brothers out in Britain, some brothers out in Africa, but primarily you black men from the States. And why is that? Because heterosexual men in America in general, but black men in particular, are under attack in the West. I believe it is the leftist agenda to really minimize the masculinity of heterosexual black men. For whatever purpose that is, I don't know, but that is typically the agenda of today. And as a men's rights activist, we need to stop trying to minimize the sexuality and the masculinity of men in America. And this has happened not only in America, but in the West, where we see it with a lot of men with dresses on. Now, obviously you've seen it with things like Martin Lawrence and Big Mama's House and comedies, and Tyler Perry with Medea. But that was okay if it was a comedy thing, But what you're seeing now is, like little Nas X and, guys that are men putting on dresses, okay? And you see this with Harry Styles. Now, Harry Styles is a British pop star. And on the newest cover of Vogue magazine, this guy puts on a complete Gucci gown dress with ruffles on under a black blazer. And you know what? A person that I typically disagree with comes out and makes a strong point that I gotta agree with, because Candace Owens is not always wrong. But in this particular instance, Candace Owens is right. Okay? She says this: if the clothes make the man, the clothes better be manly. And she says this in a tweet: dating music, there is no society that can survive without strong men. The East knows this. Stop the show. China, Russia will never go for this. Dating music in the West, the steady feminization of our men at the same time that Marxism is being taught to our children is not a coincidence. It is an outright attack. Bring back manly men. I want to give her a round of applause. Dima, go ahead and hook her up with the round of applause. Okay? What is that? All right? Now, I typically don't agree with Candace Owens when it comes to black community issues, but as a person who has political conservative leanings, she's right on this one 100%. And a lot of people from the left came for her, obviously. Okay. A lot of the superstars came for her. And, I gotta say this. And she responded by standing on her words. In other words, sorry, not sorry. And that's one thing I like about her. Okay. She stands on her shit. Now, for all these people who say that they are Christians, which a lot of people on the left say they're Christians, okay? Then let's explain this. If you're a Christian, what about Deuteronomy 22:5? Dima, church music! It states, a woman shall not wear man's clothing, nor shall a man put on woman's clothing. For whoever does these things is an abomination to the Lord your God. But what does style say? Dating music. Clothes are there to have fun with and experiment with and to play with. When you take away there's clothes for men and there's clothes for women, once you remove any barriers, obviously you open up an arena in which you can play. Now I want to just say this. A lot of women are defending this on the left, okay? They're defending this on the left. But see, what I want to talk about in the black community, because I always bring it back to the black community. What are our women, now they vote one thing, but what are women in the black community complaining about? Men are not masculine enough. All right? Men are not masculine enough. men are not provider enough. They're not strong enough. And then you live in a society where it's okay for this to happen to young boys, for young men. But then it's okay when it's somebody else that you don't like. When it's Harry Styles, you think it's his prerogative to do that, which it is. But then when it's the men that you want to date, you don't want a man like this. When it comes to the black community, a black woman is not going to want a man if she's a heterosexual black woman for the most part. Unless this guy is something like a superstar, he's a very popular guy, she's not going to want a man that does something like this. We're just going to be honest about it, okay? It is something that she's not going to want to do. We got to be honest about this. That black woman is not going to want a man like that. But the society that you're pushing on is allowing men to do this. And we got to look at the other societies of the world. China, I was in Africa for 9 months. When the Chinese people are sending their people over to Africa, they're not dressing like this. Now I want to say this. It doesn't mean though that there are some men that can dress like this and not be manly. I want to say that. I mean, because Dennis Rodman was one of the most manliest basketball playing guys I ever knew, and he dressed like this. So I don't want to insinuate that sexuality or dressing like a woman doesn't mean that a man cannot do manly things. I want to just say that. But usually, in many cases, that mindset of a masculine man that wants to go out and defend, that wants to go out and create, usually I believe that, the manly aspect of that is what builds society. That's what made America the country it is today. Any great nation. What is making China are men who are behaving in their manly ways. And I believe the attack on masculinity to make men be like women don't even want that kind of stuff. Women should be like women. All right? And men that are dressing like women, you could even be a man that is that prefers men of the same sex and still not dress like this. It's not about sexuality or anything like that. It's just about understanding that masculine men are what women need, is what society needs, all right, to maintain the country. We need to encourage that. I'm not saying we look down on others, but we cannot just denounce what makes people manly in the world. Okay? We can't be the country that denounces that, because you need men to be masculine and be leaders. And I think there's a great point. And this is an attack on heterosexual men. It's almost like if you're a guy that's a man, for people to appreciate you now, you need to do something like a woman. Like, that's why Dave Chappelle was like, when he turned that big deal, they were trying to do things to like feminize him. Why do you want to feminize your man? I'm in Poland right now. This stuff never happens in Eastern Europe. Ukraine, it never happens. Hungary, no. When you do that, eventually women are not going to be happy. The men are not going to be happy. And society's not going to be happy. You need to encourage things that make men great. What has historically had them being great. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. I really appreciate you for all that you do. Subscribe with the bell. Check out the first comment pinned to the top. Thank you for your support, guys. And as you know, the buffoonery remains an all-time high. Check out the first comment pinned to the top. Check out the Black Men of Perfect t-shirts. And I'm out. Peace.